In this short video, I'm going to explain how you can set up a deal inside of HubSpot. So if you have the sales package, you see that you can create these different pipelines. And in your case, you might have a pipeline that's already created and you may be wondering, well, how do I create my own pipeline and how do I get deals into that pipeline? So let's talk about that. The first thing is, you'll see in the drop down here, you'll have your pipelines and you can click on edit pipelines. And that's a quick shortcut to get to the area where you need to manage your pipelines. Alternatively, you can also just click this little gear icon here and that will bring you to the settings. And then if you scroll down, you'll see deals under data management, and then you can get to it the same way. So if you go to the tabs up here, you'll see that you have setup, which is basically just different default things that you can select, and then pipelines, and then record customization. To create the pipeline though, you want to go to pipelines, and then from here you can edit or create a pipeline. So in my case, I only have one pipeline, which is the sales pipeline, and you can see I already have some stages here. But let's say we wanted to create a new pipeline. We would just create that and we could say test pipeline, click on create, and now when you create this test pipeline, it automatically adds some stages for you. So you can go in and change these stages to whatever you want. You can delete them, you can add new stages, and as you add them, so we can say bought product, for example. As you add them, you can add these different win probabilities. So if someone buys this product, maybe we want to get them to our backend sales team, and the probability of them being closed from our backend sales team, let's say that's 40%. So they have a 40% chance of winning this deal if they buy this particular product, if they're in this stage of the pipeline. So once you add or modify the stages and you give the right win probability, what you think that probability is, it's totally up to you, and it's always different for each business. Once you have that, you want to click on save, and then the pipeline will be saved. Now, if we go back into our sales deals, then you'll see that we have a new pipeline, and that is the test pipeline. So we don't have anything in here because we didn't add a deal here, but you can easily do so by clicking on create deal here. So you can create the deal manually, which is obviously not the best case scenario, but if you had something, a contact or a deal that you wanted to quickly add, you can do that by adding the deal name, the pipeline that this deal should go into, the amount of the deal, and the close date, the deal owner, deal type, and so on and so forth. So, and also the deal stage, I didn't say that. So you can add them to the right stage in the deal. Now, this is not the best way to do it because it's manual. And like I said, you can totally do this if you want to quickly add a deal. But if you want to add deals automatically, then you can do it one or two ways. Inside of deal settings, inside of pipelines, there's another tab called automate, and you can actually automate some of this stuff here by creating a workflow, just by clicking on create workflow for any of these stages. So let's say if I wanted to create a follow-up workflow, I can just click on that and I can add some stuff here. But honestly, I don't think this is the best way to create a workflow just because it's kind of awkward. So what I recommend doing, and you can totally do it this way if you just want to do it this way, which is fine. And basically what happens is it would trigger when someone gets in this deal stage, it would trigger this action. So let's say that you manually added someone to this stage, follow-up needed, it will trigger whatever action you want it to do. So let's say we add someone to this follow-up needed deal stage, we can then say, let's create a task that says send an email out, and then we can do a delay, and then we can send that email. and then we can create a record or set a property value. So there's different things you can do, and you can totally do it this way. Before we dive into the rest of the video, we like to thank our video sponsor, Cartfuel. Cartfuel is the easiest and quickest way for you to accept one-time and recurring payments in HubSpot. All you need to do is connect your Stripe or PayPal account, configure your payment form by adding countdown timers, coupons, or order bumps, then copy and paste the code they provide you onto any site, including WordPress or HubSpot pages. Did we mention Cartfuel has one-click upsells? That's right, your customers can order more products without having to re-enter their credit or debit card with a single click. But you want to know what's the best part? When a sale occurs with Cartfuel, your customer's name, email address, phone number, and products they purchase will teleport into HubSpot. It's like magic. This means you can trigger workflows to boost customer retention and decrease refund rates. All this and more with no custom code needed. Try Cartfuel for free for 14 days by clicking the link in the description or comment section of this video. Alright, let's get back to the content. What I like to do is go into the automation tab and then go into workflows, and then from here we can do something similar. So we can create a workflow. But you see here it says pipeline is sales pipeline, deal stage is follow-up needed. So basically what we just did in the previous step, it added a workflow here. So if we were to click on this, it basically just set it up for us. So pipeline is any of the sales pipeline, deal stage is any of the follow-up needed. So basically it just did exactly what we did here. So let me go back to show you. So it basically just made a workflow from here. Even though we didn't do anything here, it just made a workflow from here. So we can continue on building on this workflow like we were doing previously. But what I like to do is just create the workflow, and then you can select contact based, company based, deal based. I like to do contact based because you can get more granular. So let's say that you, if we follow up with what we were doing before, I'll just start from scratch. You can do templates if you want, but I'll start from scratch. Let's say that someone bought our product and we want to add them to that bought product pipeline. So let's set the enrollment trigger. So let's say that we have a specific product that they bought, and we're going to be using just this filter, which is Cartfuel, which is basically a way for you to accept payments and then have those payments go into HubSpot. So let's say that they bought a product within Cartfuel. So product purchase, and they we know the product name, and it's equal to, let's say that they bought our book. So we'll say apply filter, and then we will save that. Okay, so this is only going to trigger when they buy this product, this book. So let's click on this plus icon, and let's then create a record. So we'll say deal, we'll assign that to, we can assign it to the contact's existing owner. For this, you might have to have some workflows already that pretty much automate the process, but you can do contact's existing owner, specific user, or no one. Which owner, the contact owner, or you can create a new contact property. And then the deal name, what I like to do is I'll say the name, the first name of the person, and then I'll say, purchase book. And then from here you can actually select the pipeline. So this is pretty specific to this particular workflow, which is if they bought a product. But you can get really specific. You don't have to do contact. You can do deal pipelines, which is what we were doing previously here. This is a deal workflow basically, whereas this is a contact workflow because it's triggering based on the contact, whereas this would trigger based on the deal. So keep that in mind. But then you can select the pipeline. So let's say that this is our test pipeline, and we want them to go to the bought product stage. And then we can say the amount, whatever the amount of the product is. Let's say it's $10. And then we could also set another deal property or copy a property to a deal property. I want to add this to the timeline so that we know that this deal went into the customer's timeline. And that's it. Let's click on save. So now we have this contact workflow that says if they buy this particular book, then do something. And that something that's going to be done is going to create a deal, and it's going to add them to that particular stage. Whereas if we were to do something like this, we can create a workflow and it's only going to trigger. So for example, let's say that we're in this test pipeline stage, and we go to automate, and let's say that someone, let's scroll this over. Let's say that someone bought this book and they were sent to this particular stage, right? So now they are here, okay? Then we can create a workflow and say whenever someone gets into this stage, so whenever someone pushes, whenever they buy the book, they're going to be pushed to this stage. And then whenever someone is pushed to this stage, then do something else, right? So we can create a task. We can do all these different things. Create another record, rotate to another owner. So just to give you a bit of idea, that's what you can do with these type of workflows. You can get pretty automated when it comes to this stuff, so that you're not relying on, adding deals manually to your pipeline. But that is how you do it. It's really simple once you understand the mechanics of it, and then you can get, you can have different pipelines for your sales team, for your backend sales team, for different parts of your business. You can have pipelines for your support team, so that you can make sure that the contact properties are right for the deal owners. So there's a lot of different things that you can do. You just have to know what you want to do. But I would say just start playing around with it. Start playing around with some deals. The easiest way to get a hold of this is to create a pipeline, create some stages, and then play around with the workflows so that you can see how it works, and then you can edit those workflows and edit those pipelines and stages to meet your needs. So that's how you do it. Let us know if you have any other video suggestions on this particular topic. Leave a comment down below. Subscribe to our channel if you want to see more videos like this one, and give us a like if you like this type of content. We'll see you guys in the next video.